Warning, this channel is meant for viewers 21 plus and was created for educational and documentary purposes only. Beginner BUDZ does not condone illegal activity and certainly does not sell anything, so don't even ask. Seriously. How's it going, everyone? Well, this week we got some bad news. The Green Sunshine Company closed. This means no more lights, and for us, no more nutrients. I guess we gotta figure out what's next. Fuck. Alright guys, so we had an interesting week for sure. We got something we want to talk about with you guys, although some have surely heard about it. Everything was trucking along as usual. I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but all I remember was being on my computer, hearing a notification go off, looking down, and seeing we got an email from the Green Sunshine Company. Of course, everyone on their mailing list did too, but it especially caught my attention since the subject line simply read, "End of production." End of production of what? Click the link and boom, sure shooting. An email saying that the Green Sunshine Company is ending production of their lights. That's all the email talked about.
So, where the heck does that leave us then? Did the Chinese market choke them out? Are they still going to remain a company then? Wait. Did they shut down, or are they just shifting priorities? I mean, the email just talks about the lights and doesn't say the Green Sunshine Company is going out of business. Our biggest concern, of course, was our newts, earth dust made by you already know who. So, sure, the Green Sunshine Company isn't making lights anymore, but are they still gonna release nutrients, or maybe something new? Only one way to find out. We reached out and, much to our dismay, they are, in fact, closing the whole operation down. No lights, no more newts, and an indoor grower's household name no more. We were disheartened first and foremost. We want everyone to win and don't ever wish to see anyone's doors closed like this. But this is the way things go from time to time. And just like the end of so much before, this just prompts change. So to Dan and Dave over at the Green Sunshine Company, we really do wish you guys the best. It was great while we had you, and you will be and already are sorely missed.
Now that we had all that figured out though, we had a harsh reality to address. The nutrients we were currently using and figuring out were no longer going to be made. In fact, shortly after the initial email, another email came out saying that they still had a stock of earth dust available and to make sure that you snagged some before it was gone for good. And they were even offering it at 40% off. Not a bad deal. But the keyword there was were, because they ain't anymore. Guys, the Green Sunshine Company sold out of their entire stock, which they had estimated to last until the end of November, in a day. A fucking day. I mean, we were thinking about grabbing some just to hold us over while we figured things out, but fuck. What are we gonna do? I mean, we're okay, we got some left, and our current season is still running strong on the stuff. But it seems that we gotta find ourselves some new newts, and quick. Good news is, we may have been looking into plausible alternatives because, well, I guess we want to say something that's a little different. I mean, guys, like we said, we never want anyone to fail, and we certainly don't enjoy talking about shortcomings. But at the end of the day, earth dust is what we now consider to be an incomplete nutrient system.
No, don't get us wrong. it's great, period, as an NPK product. And it's great, organic dry amendment one at that. But at the end of the day, we were needing to consistently supplement both secondary and micronutrients for the entirety of the grow. That means they were missing. So we had to figure it out, which is where our TPS Organic OAC CalMag and Drops of Balance Trace Minerals comes in. But at the end of the day, guys, we're just leveling with you here and being honest. We didn't really enjoy having to add and mix liquid nutes in addition to what was originally promised to us, a complete nutrient system. Whatever though, we did what we had to make the nutrient system we had work, or at least enough to keep learning along the way. And that we did. So what was that exactly? Well, we knew we didn't like having to mix bottled nutes to make the system work. We also knew that we didn't like how everything was on a different cycle, making things difficult to keep track of and maintain consistency. I mean, our macronutrients, or NPK, our earth dust was top dressed at targeted 4 weeks, but would sometimes only last 3 weeks depending on the plant.
From there, our secondary nutrients were on an every other week schedule, while micronutrients were weekly. Sure, we had options like splitting NPK into 2 feedings and lining up macro and secondary on the same bi-weekly schedule, but macronutrients would have to stay on a weekly schedule. That's just how they work. You only need a little. Thus the term micro. Add too much and you burn the plant. So you could divide the macro and secondary down again, but then you have to top dress and mix your liquid nutes every week now? I mean, this is going in the entirely opposite direction of the simplicity of what we were originally looking for. Obviously, something doesn't work. So we had to ask ourselves what we were looking for moving forward.
Simply put, we like the idea of starting in soil rather than making our living soil starting from zero and building our own with cocoa. Why do the work when someone else has, and why not take the assistance and ease that nature offers with soil? From there, we'd like to keep it simple. Staying organic, we wanted to keep our top dress amendments, but needed to make sure that everything the plant needed was addressed in their system. Over the course of a day, we compiled a list of 20 companies, all claiming to be organic dry amendments. Some were powder for DWC style growing and were quickly eliminated. From there, we dove into the nutrient systems, wrote down the NPK rates for their veg and flower amendments, as well as secondary nutrients, primarily magnesium. And then, whether or not the company included micronutrients within their product as well. This quickly shrunk the list down to 3. One of which's NPK rates were quite bizarre considering the range of the rest, so we ruled that one out, and we were down to 2. In the end, we picked what we think is not just a really great product, but what comes from a really great company that we're going to hear a lot about over the next coming years.
They seem to have a good thing going, and guys, we did our research on this. Believe us or not, but this was our #1 pick. It checked all of our boxes, so we pulled the trigger and bought the stuff. Of course, we figure we better give you guys a little sneak peek of who we decided to go with, so here you go. Okay, there. Great. Great to introduce you guys. And of course, you know you'll be hearing more about their products in the coming weeks as we gear up for this major change. So, if you haven't heard of them, don't worry. You'll know about them coming this next season. Trust us. We can't wait. And until then, keep learning, keep growing.
Catch you later, guys.